Hello class, this is Algebra topic 2-2, more systems applications reloaded. Uh, we're going to go ahead and do some more word problems just like we did on topic 2-1, but I am going to teach you a new way to solve these equations using your TI-84 calculator. So, let's go ahead and get to work on this. So first off, as we read the values, we're going to need to figure out what our two items are. So we read this, we say the number of grocery store items on two grocery lists differs by 7. The combined total of the items on both grocery lists is 33. How many items are on each list? Well, we're talking about lists, but they don't give us two specific names. So we're going to call one list A, and the other one list B. So we have A and B. Now if these lists differ by 7, that means I take one list, I subtract the other list, I'm going to get 7. If I combine these, so instead of subtracting them, I add them, I get 33 items total. And so now we have our two equations. Now, we can use the method that we talked about yesterday, substitution. We could solve for either A or B in either equation and then work through and solve that. We can solve using elimination, and this would be very easy to solve with elimination if you remember that method still. However, I want to go over another method that is preferable to elimination. You still need these set up the same way, but we're going to use the calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and move this paper down where I've got some notes drawn. You might want to go ahead and put these notes over here on your paper. But I'm going to have them nice and big so that you can see what they are. This is the format of how we're going to put our equations into the calculator. I'm actually going to move these up a little bit. So, in our calculator, we're going to use matrices. And to do that, you're going to need to use your calculator. From here, we see in blue matrix, we know to get to any blue text, we hit the second button, and then we're going to hit the button underneath the blue text. And now I'm going to edit, and for our sakes, I'm always going to use matrix A. So you're going to need to go over to Edit, Matrix A, and I've already got some stuff in here. You may not, you probably don't have anything in yours, so I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch. On our two numbers up here, we're going to type in 2 and 2. Sorry, not 2 and 2, 2 and 3. And that's going to give you a 2 by 3 matrix. You should see that there are 2 rows, and each row has 3 columns. Well, now we're going to fill this in. And let me explain how we're going to fill this in. I'm going to go ahead and blanket mine, just so mine looks the way yours should. And we're going to look at this. We're going to need to change our formulas to be in this format. They need to be x, and then y, and then our constant number. And these are going to be our different columns. Our rows, this will be the first equation. This will be the second equation. So let's go ahead and see how that plays out. Over here I have A minus B. So the number in front of A is an invisible number 1. The number in front of B is an invisible negative 1. And our constant is 7. We do this again with the next ones. Again, our invisible number is 1. Our invisible number is 1. And this time our constant is 33. So we put this in the calculator. We do 1, negative 1, 7, 1, 1, 33. Now that you've got all this in, we need to get back to the main screen, so we're going to do second, quit. Gets us on the home screen. From the home screen, you're going to want to go back to Matrix. But this time you want to scroll over to Math, and then you want to go down quite a ways. We're going to go down all the way to the letter B, which says R, R, E, F. Hit enter on that. And we want to put in matrix A. So we go back to matrix a third time. This time under names, we just go ahead and select what's there. We hit enter. We go ahead and close the parentheses. And we hit enter again. And this matrix tells us the answer. Well, you're looking at this and going, I don't have a clue what these numbers mean. So I'm going to help you. Got another sticky note over here. Our answers are always going to have some things in common. You're always going to have a 1 here. You're always going to have a 0. Here's always going to be a 0, and here's always going to be a 1. Your answer will be given in these two numbers, the 20 and the 13. Okay? Well, the 20 is your X answer, and your 13 is your Y answer. So what this tells me is that there are 20 in list A, and 13 in list B. And solving by matrix is quite simple. It's a lot easier than using elimination. If it's already set up this way, it's easier than substitution. Okay. This was one example. We're going to go ahead and continue with more examples. I'm going to solve every problem on here using this matrix method, unless it falls under substitution, in which case we will review substitution. So hopefully you have these notes written down. I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 2, and I will write the notes down for us on number 2. Well, we start up over here. We have a rectangle. The length is 12 feet longer than the width. So we have our width, and we have 12 plus our width. And we know that the perimeter is 76. So let's go ahead and see what we can do to set this up as equations. Well, we know that the length is 12 feet longer than the width. And we know that twice the length plus twice the width equals a perimeter. That's back from junior high simple geometry, the equation of the perimeter of a rectangle. So we could go ahead and use substitution. I could use this L, plug this in, and solve this, but I told you I was going to show you how to use matrices. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to use matrices. What this involves is I need to move this W to the other side. So L equals 12 plus W. If I subtract W from both sides, I get that L minus W equals 12. And so now I have my two equations. 2L plus 2W equals perimeter, which we already know our perimeter is 76. And L minus W equals 12. We got that from this equation. So let's go ahead and put those in. This is X, Y, and then a constant. Well, we have 2, 2, and 76. We have 1, negative 1, and 12. Okay. If you're going to use this method, I want you to go ahead and show me the matrix that you had set up. Okay? This is important. If you do not have this, I will assume that you don't have any work. So I need you to show me this matrix set up. So now let's use our calculator. We're going to go back to second matrix. We want to edit our matrix. And now we still want it to be 2 by 3. And we're going to make this matrix match this matrix. So we know that it's 2, 2, 76, and 1, negative 1, and 12. Okay. Make sure that this one matches this one. Double check. It does. So we move on. We do second quit to get out. I already have our ref pulled up, but just so as a reminder, I'm going to go second matrix, over to math, and all the way down to letter B, which is our ref. I want to put in matrix A, close it up, hit enter. And again, you'll notice that the ones and zeros are in the same place, but we have different numbers here, 25 and 13. So we know that we have 25 and 13. X came first. In our case, L came first. So 25 is our length. Y was W, so we know that 13 is our width. And that's all we need to do. That's how we solve it. Okay? It wants the width. It didn't require the length. Well, there's our width right there. Okay. Again, you could have used substitution like we did in the last assignment. It might have been a little bit easier for you if we get the same answers. Moving on to example number 3. All right. Well, Sean's grandmother gives him 42 coins. Some of these coins are dimes. Others are nickels. So that means we've got D and M. And we know that we have 42 coins. So D plus N will equal 42. It says their value is $3. So something is $3. Value. Well, a dime is worth 10 cents. So 0.10 times my dimes, that's the value of my dimes. My nickels, those are worth 5 cents. So that's the value of my nickels. Okay? Just as a side note, that's my value equation. Okay? So value of my dimes plus value of my nickels is the value of the whole purse. Okay? So we look at this, and hey, it is already set up, D and N constant. D and N constant. So we can go ahead and set this up. X, Y, and constant. So we have an invisible 1 in front of that D, an invisible 1 in front of that N, and we know that there are 42 coins. We have a 0.10, we have a 0.05, and $3 is just going to come out to 3. We use our calculator. We go back to the matrix. We come over to edit it. Leave the columns the same. Now we make these numbers match these numbers. So we have 1, 1, and 42. We have 0.1, 0.05, and 3. Double check these numbers match these numbers. We get out. You can go back and find RF if you like, or since it's already pulled up, we can just hit enter, and it will give us the answer, which we see to be 18 and 24. Well, X was the first position, which this time said dimes. N was the second position, which we said was nickels. So we have 18 dimes, 24 nickels. hopefully that you're catching on that this using the matrix is way faster than elimination, and most of the times is even faster than substitution. Let's go and look at problem number 4. Maybe you can try this one on your own and check the answer here later. Drama Club is selling tickets. The cost of an adult ticket is $4.50, and the cost of a student ticket is $2.50. The theater can hold 250 people, and they want to make $1,005. Well, we want to hold 250 people. So we have adult tickets, we have student tickets, and so our adult tickets plus our student tickets is 250 tickets. Now we need our value equation. Well, it's $4.50 for every adult ticket. So 4.5A plus 2.5 S, and make sure your S's don't look like your 5s. That can get you in big trouble. And they want to make $1,005. So how many adult tickets do they have to sell? Because adult tickets are worth more. We want to know how many adult tickets have to be sold. Because if we fill it up with students, we probably won't make our goal. Well, we can set this up. We've got our numbers. We have an invisible 1, invisible 1. We have 250. We have 4.5, 2.5, and 1,005. Set up our matrix. We go to our matrix, edit, make this matrix match that matrix. 1, 1, 250, 4.5, 2.5, 1,005. Double check that they match. They do. We get out of it. Do our RF, and it tells us 190 and 60. Well, A was our first number, so our first number is there. So we need to sell 190 adult tickets and 60. S was second. Student tickets. So if we want to make $1,005, we're going to need to sell a lot of adult tickets. We want to make sure we're advertising mostly to adults, because we need a whole lot more adults than we need students. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at last problem. At Penny's Diner, 2 eggs with bacon cost $3.15. And 1 egg with bacon costs $2.20. Well, we know that we're dealing with eggs and bacon. And we're trying to figure out how much bacon costs by itself. Well, 2 eggs with bacon, $3.15. Whereas 1 egg with bacon is only $2.20. Using this, I can actually figure out the cost of eggs and the cost of bacon, as long as they're not adding an additional charge somewhere. So we look at this, and I've got 2, 1, and 3.15. Then I've got 1, 1, and 2.2. Go to our matrix, make it match. Quit out of it. Do my reference, and I get 0.95 and 1.25. Okay, well these are the costs of, so I'm going to go ahead and put dollar signs. This is the cost of an egg, and that's the cost of bacon, because eggs came first, so they're first. Bacon came second, so it's second. And we only care about the bacon. So, that's your answer. I realize you may not have a calculator as you're going through this at home. You probably don't. Very important for you to write this down. Hopefully, you've also included these notes. These notes are important. They're how you do everything. So, if you haven't written these notes down somewhere, please write them down now, somewhere on the back of the page, as long as you have it, because you're going to need to refer back to it in class. Hopefully have a good afternoon, and good luck on your assignment, especially with the new method of solving equations.